6 deadly symptoms you should never ignore. After 60, you know, after 5 decades of helping folks over 60 live longer, healthier, happier lives, there's one truth that keeps showing up. The body? It whispers before it screams. But the real danger? Most people ignore those whispers. We brush them off. It's just age, we say. Until one day, it's not. Well, not today. Not on my watch. Because right now, we're going to walk together, just you and me, through 6 deadly symptoms you should never ignore after age 60. These aren't just little annoyances. No. These are the early alarms your body sends out when something deeper, something serious, might be going on. And look, I get it. At this stage of life, you deserve to enjoy every moment, pain-free, full of energy, and without fear. But that means one thing, listening when your body talks. Because I've seen too many folks, good people, delay a simple checkup, ignore a sign, and end up facing something they could have stopped. So, stay with me. Listen close. Because this might just save your life. Or someone you love. Let's begin. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly couldn't remember why you were there? Maybe you forgot someone's name, someone you've known for years. Now don't worry. We all have those moments. A little forgetfulness? That's normal. But here's where the red flag goes up. When it's not just a name or a room, but a whole conversation you don't remember having. Or when someone tells you they found you looking confused, maybe even lost in a place that should feel familiar. That, my friend, is not something to ignore. Sudden confusion, what we in the field call acute cognitive changes, can be a sign of something serious. I've seen it happen overnight. A sharp, smart, independent person suddenly can't follow a simple conversation. Sometimes it's a mini stroke, sometimes it's an infection, like a urinary tract infection, which affects older adults very differently than younger folks. And yes, it can also be an early sign of dementia or Alzheimer's. But here's the key. Not all memory loss is permanent. That's why catching it early makes all the difference. I had a client once, let's call her Marie. Sharp as a tack, loved crossword puzzles, and never missed her Sunday brunch with friends. But one morning, she showed up late, confused, couldn't remember how she got there. Her friends were worried. She went to the ER that afternoon. Turns out she'd had a small, undetected stroke. The good news? They caught it. She got the help she needed. And within weeks, she was back to herself again. Wiser and grateful that someone noticed. So what should you watch for? Trouble concentrating? Forgetting important dates or names? Disorientation or getting lost in familiar places? Sudden mood swings or behavior changes? And don't let pride get in the way. If something feels off, speak up. Ask for help. A quick test, a simple scan, even a blood draw could be the thing that saves your independence and your peace of mind. Now, while the mind may whisper, the heart, well, the heart has its own way of calling out for help, and it doesn't always do it with pain. Let's talk about symptom 2. Something every senior needs to know. Chest discomfort, even when it doesn't feel like pain. You know, most people think a heart attack looks like it does in the movies. Clutching the chest, sharp, crushing pain, falling to the floor. But in real life, especially for folks over 60, it's often a whole lot quieter. Sometimes it's not even pain at all. I remember a gentleman I worked with years ago, Harold. Quiet guy, former teacher, never liked to complain. He told me one day, I didn't feel pain, just a little tightness, like someone was pressing on my chest, and it went up into my jaw. Turns out, Harold was in the early stages of a heart attack. Thank God he said something. That tightness in the chest, that pressure or discomfort, it's the heart's way of calling out. And it doesn't always show up like we expect, especially in women and in people with diabetes. Heart symptoms can be sneaky. You might feel short of breath, nauseated, maybe even a little dizzy, or sweaty. Some folks feel it in the neck, shoulders, arms, or even the back, and chalk it up to muscle strain or indigestion. But let me be clear, any new, unexplained discomfort in the chest area deserves attention. Don't brush it off. Don't wait it out. If something doesn't feel right, call 911. Let the professionals take a look. It's always better to be told you're okay than to be told if only you'd come in sooner. And let's talk about prevention for a moment, because that is power. Your heart loves leafy greens, fiber, healthy fats, and it needs movement. Even a gentle walk after dinner helps improve circulation and lowers blood pressure. But above all, your heart needs awareness. So pay attention to how you feel when you're resting, climbing stairs, even during moments of stress or excitement. Keep a little health journal if you have to. It helps you track patterns, and that can help your doctor make faster, more accurate decisions. Now, what if your body isn't hurting? It's changing. What if you're dropping weight and you don't even know why? Well, that's where symptom 3 comes in, and it might surprise you. Now this one tends to fool people, especially when we're older. You lose a few pounds without trying and think, hey, not bad. Maybe your clothes are fitting looser, the scale's being kind for once. And it feels like a little blessing, right? But hold on. Because if you're not trying to lose weight and it's just falling off without a change in diet or exercise, that could be your body waving a very big red flag. I've seen this more times than I can count. Folks come in smiling about their surprise weight loss, and within a few tests, we uncover something serious underneath. Sometimes it's a thyroid issue, the body burning too fast. Sometimes it's digestive trouble. The nutrients just aren't being absorbed. And yes, sometimes it's cancer. The kind that creeps in silently, with no pain. Just a shrinking frame and vanishing energy. There was a woman named Grace, elegant, 74, always beautifully dressed. She told me she'd lost 12 pounds in 3 months, but she hadn't changed a thing. Turns out her stomach was no longer absorbing nutrients properly. Early testing caught it, and today she's back to baking cookies for her grandkids and walking her golden retriever every morning. That's the power of paying attention. So, what should you look out for? Losing more than 5% of your body weight in 6 to 12 months without trying muscle loss, especially in the arms, legs, and shoulders. Loss of appetite, food tasting different, or feeling full too fast. Chronic fatigue, or feeling cold all the time. And remember, at this age, weight matters. But muscle matters more. So if the scale is dropping, but you're feeling weaker, don't ignore it. Eat mindfully. Add healthy calories with things like smoothies, avocado, nut butters, and eggs. Move your body in ways that build strength. Even light resistance bands can do wonders. All right, now that we've talked about what's leaving the body, let's shift to what might be staying in, especially where it shouldn't. Because when your legs or feet start to swell up? Well, that's symptom number 4. And it's one you definitely don't want to overlook. Now let me ask you, have you ever looked down at your feet at the end of the day and thought, when did my ankles start looking like balloons? It happens to the best of us. You sit for a while, maybe watch your favorite show, or go on a long car ride, and by the evening, your socks are leaving little rings around your legs. Now, sometimes, sure, that kind of swelling is harmless. But when it starts showing up often, especially when it's just on one side, or it's paired with tightness, redness, or warmth, that's when it's time to pay very close attention. Because swelling in the lower legs or feet isn't always about too much salt or sitting still. It can be a sign of something far more serious, like a deep vein thrombosis or DVT. That's a blood clot that forms in the leg, and if it breaks loose, it can travel to the lungs and cause a life-threatening pulmonary embolism. I've seen it happen. A man named Ray, big smile, retired mechanic, still sharp as ever. He came in complaining about calf soreness and swelling. Thought he'd pulled a muscle while gardening. But that pulled muscle? It was a DVT. Luckily, he got checked in time. Blood thinners saved his life. And it's not just clots. Swelling can also signal heart failure, kidney trouble, or poor circulation, all of which become more common as we age. So here's what to watch for. Swelling in one or both legs, especially if it's sudden skin that feels tight, shiny, or warm to the touch. Pain or tenderness, especially in the calf. Shortness of breath that comes on with the swelling. And here's a tip. Never massage a swollen leg. I know it feels like you should rub it out, but if there's a clot, that could actually make things worse. Instead, elevate your feet. Walk around every hour or so, and drink plenty of water. Now, we've talked about signs that are visible from the outside. But what about signs that show up somewhere far more private? Because symptom 5? It's something most people don't want to talk about. But it could be one of the most important of all. All right. I know this isn't exactly dinner table conversation, but hear me out. If you ever notice blood where it shouldn't be, in the toilet, on the tissue, or mixed in with your stool or urine, please don't ignore it. Don't shrug it off as just a little thing. Because more often than not, it's your body sending a very loud, very important message. I've had so many folks tell me, well, I figured it was just hemorrhoids. Or maybe I strained a little too hard. And sometimes, sure, that's all it is. But other times, it's a sign of something more serious, like colon cancer, bladder cancer, diverticulitis, or even internal bleeding from ulcers or medications. I remember a woman named Janice, 69 years old, active, loved gardening. She started seeing just a little red when she wiped, thought it would go away. A few months later, she was still bleeding and feeling tired all the time. When she finally came in, we discovered advanced colon cancer. Now, thankfully, she caught it in time for treatment. But if she'd come in just a few weeks earlier, her path would have been much easier. So what exactly should you be watching for? Bright red blood in the stool or on toilet paper. Black, tar-like stool, which could mean old blood from higher up in the digestive tract. Pink or dark-colored urine. Pain or burning when you urinate. Needing to go more often or having trouble going at all. None of these are symptoms to brush aside. I know it can feel embarrassing to talk about, but trust me, your doctor has seen it all. What they haven't seen are the things we keep to ourselves. And here's a bit of good news. Many of these conditions are treatable, preventable, and manageable if caught early. So please, don't wait. Now, so far we've talked about what we can see and what we can feel physically. But symptom 6? This one's different. It's quiet, sneaky, and it wears 1,000 disguises. Let's talk about fatigue, that deep, lasting exhaustion that doesn't go away with a nap. Or if you feel foggy, weak, or down, get it checked out. Sometimes the fix is simple: more iron, a CPAP machine, some vitamin support. Other times, it takes a bit more detective work. But trust me, living fully rested is worth the effort. All right, friend. We've talked through 6 powerful symptoms. And if you're still with me, that tells me something important. You care about your health. So, let's take a breath here. You've just learned the 6 deadly symptoms that no one over 60 should ever ignore. And if any part of this touched a nerve, stirred up a little, maybe I should get that checked out, then good. That's your wisdom speaking. Remember, these symptoms aren't here to scare you. They're here to empower you. Your body is always communicating. And when we listen early, we can prevent pain, preserve independence, and enjoy so much more life. Because you still have time to dance, to travel, to hold hands with someone you love, and laugh so hard your cheeks hurt. But first, take care of your body. Trust those signals. Don't wait. I want you to thrive, not just survive. So if this video helped you feel stronger, wiser, or more aware, give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more senior wisdom straight from the heart. Because a longer life isn't just about more years. It's about better moments. And those moments start with how you treat your health today. And hey, next time, we'll be diving into something truly uplifting. Something that can help you feel younger, stronger, and more joyful every single day. Until then, take care of yourself. You've earned it.